Marcus, you wanna call the roll if you don't mind?
Sure.
Okay.
Here's a nasty party.
Trina Hall. Okay. Roll call, Mayor Mosier,
Present.
Mr. Davis,
Present.
Mr. Panacucci,
Present.
Mr. Bellore's present, and Mr. Kordosh.
Present.
Okay, we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we looked, after reviewing a number of the cases that had been presented, that there were a few that were to present more information to us and meet all the criteria for tax forgiveness under the program outlines that we had set forth in the past. So I think the mayor made a good point that maybe tonight we can start with that. Anybody that is here that has put together their materials, is ready to present them and gain the approval of the board, I think we would like to move forward with that first. So if there's anybody here, please introduce yourself. You can outline what you've done, your materials, and work from there.
Hello, my name's Evan Olivio. I'm the owner of 606 McMahon. I'm trying to get the taxes forgiven on the property. I've done a lot of work. I have pictures right here if you don't mind. Just take a look at them. I've done basically a whole entire remodel. The only downfall that I have at the moment is since it's been so long and I don't know, just I don't have any of the receipts really, if any. I have maybe one I think I was able to find to meet the, I guess, the final criteria, but I have pictures of literally everything that I've done to the property. It has new electrical, new plumbing, everything. The only thing I didn't have done yet was have Mr. Davis come and inspect the property because I just recently found out in the bathroom, I had to tear up the ceramic tile floor that I was in the middle of putting in. The pipe was busted under there, so I had to get under there and redo that and then just get the water turned on, and then really that's honestly all I have to do to the property, and it's movable.
So yeah, it looks like you did.
Yeah, I've done
work.
so much work. Bought a lot of it from Hannah's over in Denora, Lowe's. I got a lot of it from Market Space, stuff like that.
So to me, the true measure is the occupancy permit.
Okay.
That really says a lot. If Marvin can go up and do a inspection of the house and give us give you the occupancy permit, report back to us,
Okay.
that probably is, to me, the most important thing. I mean, you guys can add your own 2 cents.
Yeah, I think if the pictures
Yeah.
are proven when Mr. Davis goes and does a walk through the property, do we have the original agreement as far as?
We have the original contract.
Okay.
Right.
And that's really what we've operated on thus far with
Right.
everything.
And again, cause in that contract, it would designate the expected expenditures.
Right.
And it's Mr. Olivio, is it?
Mhm.
I'm sorry,
No, you're fine.
if I missed your name. But I think with Mr. Davis's inspection and these pictures, we could probably justify that you met that expenditure, without seeing, a stack of receipts that you put into it.
Pretty typical of a blighted home when you got it.
Yeah.
Is it
A mess.
606 McMahon?
Yeah.
Well, quite honestly, that was the purpose of the tax forgiveness board, to get property back on the taxable rolls. What do you plan? We probably do need to look at the current tax certificate. You need to have paid the taxes since the time you got the
Okay.
property. The agreement really only exonerated the taxes prior to that point.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I can get that for you, or you can get it either one, but
Okay.
get it from the county. I'm sure Marvin can look at the before and after, and he can even estimate how much time and energy he put into this, getting it going. I don't know if you remember the house before, Marvin, or not.
Yeah, I do.
Had to put all new windows in it. I ripped the drywall literally all the way down to the studs in every single room. Put all new drywall in it, electrical, everything. The whole night. I planned on moving into it, so you know, yeah, I wanted to do literally everything.
To be real honest with you, this is the first meeting we've had in probably a couple months, due to
Mhm.
many different factors that came to play. I'll let our chairman speak, but it seems to me that it would warrant having another meeting within the next week or two
Mhm.
to give us time to get, you know, the inspection done, get your water turned on, get those things done, and then have all the tax information before us. When's the last time that we can take it before the school board? That's gotta be part of
Yeah,
it.
that's one of the criteria,
Well,
right?
we're going to
Yeah,
change our
the
schedule.
meeting's going to be bumped,
Yeah.
instead of the first two Tuesdays to probably the last two, because we're finalizing the budget, so we can go till June 30th. We don't have a firm date, but we should be able, pending Mr. Davis's, inspection, and confirming that the taxes are current. Well, Mark and I don't wanna speak, I'll speak for him, but we should be able to get it on the board agenda for the June, voting meeting.
As long as we
Okay.
do something fairly quickly.
Yeah, for
Right.
the district to clear their
Does,
end of
does
it.
that work with you?
Yeah,
I mean,
oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is, if we can work with everybody
Yeah.
here, then we get a lot done.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
It just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would be preferably for the school too, because we typically do not meet in July. So getting this expedited,
Okay.
will benefit everybody.
Okay, yeah.
We have a motion further down the line here to advertise a special meeting if required, which I think we're saying we would like to do that. Would we like to address that as a special order of business and set that right now, or do you want to wait till the end of the meeting? It's, you know, your pleasure on that.
end of this meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this meeting,
I mean, we can move forward with it, right?
okay. What dates are we thinking of to do that?
How long do you think it's gonna take to get the water turned on?
Honestly, I guess at this point, it would just be waiting on the water company to come turn the water on and then.
Okay.
have
I would
Davis come
suspect
up.
that they could do that within a couple of days.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe by next week at the latest.
Call 'em.
Just have to get a hold of the water company
Just make
tomorrow.
a call 'em.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
set a time.
Okay,
Now, do we need to advertise?
Yeah, we'll have to-
we'll advertise that,
Let's
yep,
advertise that.
yep, as a special meeting.
Okay, and I know that
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Bloor and I are not
How
available
are
on
you?
the 31st.
Good to see
Okay.
you. Yeah,
If we wanna
absolutely.
throw one out there, Mark, I mean, we can try and let
Well, I mean,
everybody,
I think it's all gonna depend on Mr. Olivio and him,
okay,
rather than pick a date.
okay.
And then it may not happen,
Do you,
let
do you
Mr.
have,
Olivio.
property you wanna present also, Trina?
I wanted to learn what I need to do. I'm clueless, and since I missed the meetings, I am completely in arrears. I've only heard from Mr. Marvin.
Okay.
I need to know what is the process. I apologize,
Oh,
to the
no,
rest
you're
of the board for interrupting.
No,
you're
fine, that's fine.
Tuesday would be the preferred date,
30th?
I would say,
That would work for me.
30th.
for us to reconvene.
Okay,
I
Is that good for you?
would like to make a motion that we advertise for a special meeting to occur on June 30th, excuse me, May 30th.
May 30th.
May 30th, let me get it straight,
okay.
at 6 PM.
I second the motion. Let's do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and that will be set for May 30th
Time.
At 6 PM.
at 6 PM for our next special meeting, and I will do the advertisement and,
And we really need to
Related
stress
activity.
that anybody else that wants to get their property in, they need to come, to come before us soon.
right,
There's basically just so everybody understands it,
Good
looking at
job.
yourself.
Nice job,
The
man.
way that we view it, there's two ways to get into this program, and the first way really is by the grace of the program. We will abide by the program that Matt did up through the end of June, I think is what we said in our meeting. And in that case, it really is really asking that you provide all the receipts, occupancy permit, you've done everything that the contract has. And if you do that, then the board will exonerate those taxes prior to that period. Now, you have to have paid the taxes from the time you got the property. If you wanna do it under the new program, there is a application and a contract that's on the city webpage. That works a little bit different. That works in so much as you acquire a piece of property, you do the title search on it, you make sure that there's no extraneous liens on this property. You fill out the application, you come before the board, and convince the board that you have the wherewithal and the capability to get this property fixed, and we exonerate the taxes right then and there. That has a distinct advantage of allowing you to go to a bank and borrow money against your house, because it's your house free and clear. Now, if you fail to get it brought up to standard within the 1 year, then we have the right to come back and apply liens to it, to encumber that piece of property in such a way that you lost your advantage. Yes, yeah.
Myself and my cousin, so I'm here representing myself and a family member because of the old program, we had to find demolition and contractors that would allow us to do payment program,
Mhm.
like, and pay on everything through estimates, so we were wondering like exactly what we need, cause we have so much money in because we purchased and materials, but because we weren't ready for the occupancy permit, when we talked to Mr. Marvin, that's why we wanted to come in, because, like, 3 of our properties are half done, and they've met the contract of finance, but we're like right in the middle where we need to make the work order for the electric and the water, but like, knowing that we're not ready for the occupancy permit yet, like, I didn't know what to do, so I came down to ask because our situation is really weird, and because I know you and I had talked before, and the way the previous administration did it was very messy, and it left a few of us kind of in limbo. And so I just wanted to ask the board, like, I have invoices and payment plans, we have like thousands of dollars into these 3 properties, and the one that needs tore down, like, we need to get a demolition permit, which I talked to you about that.
Which one is that?
This one on McKee, but our demolition people and the maintenance guys won't come because of that wires that the cable company won't move. So it's like 2 issues, because we have the finances in the other way, but like, to get the bank loan, to expedite it, like, we could be done to turn over and occupy July 1st with like 2 of the properties, but we can't get bank loan because the old prices went back on July or January 1st after the old administration left.
Well,
How do we satisfy you all, because we have work and we have money and we have, like,
well, first off, the old program was really extended through the end of June. And that really fits in well with the school board meetings and so forth. Anything that occurs after that is gonna have to wait till the fall.
right,
So I think that you need to really think about this long and hard. The program that Matt had before, that is 1.5 years ago. That is so far expired that it really means nothing to anybody, but through the grace, we're honoring that only in so much as if you do everything that's in that contract, we'll forgive taxes.
right.
So if you can get it done before the end of June, and we can get it scheduled before the last meeting of the school, then that would be something that could happen. If you fail that, then the next thing would be to apply as under the new program. That's $500 right off the top. That's coming forth with all your tax documents, your, any liens, it needs to be free of any liens. You need to show proof of finance that you've got the capability of doing it, proof of experience of doing the work, those things. Choice is yours, but that's really where we're at. Unless somebody has
Mhm.
something they'd like to add to that.
It sounds like if you have those invoices and so forth, that's what we're looking for, the financials, right? To make sure.
Right, if you could wrap it up and get it going, that would be the ideal thing.
Okay,
It's-
so that's not a problem. And then just bringing each packet for each property?
Yes,
and then-
each one would have to stand on its own. You need to get them completed enough that Marvin gives them an occupancy permit.
Well, and that was not gonna be my follow-up question, because it's into code, and we just had a question, because I'm not sure if we're gonna occupy one of them, because obviously can't live in two houses, so when it says like up to code.
That is an occupancy
it's
permit.
Just rent, like rent ready, it doesn't have to be rented.
Right, but it has to have an
No, just
occupancy
ready-
permit.
Just ready for the
Ready,
habitation.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, I missed your name at the beginning. Can you,
Latrina, Hall, H-A-L-L.
and if you don't mind me asking, the addresses of the properties?
The demolition property is 454 McKee,
Okay.
and then the renovation property is 1408 Summit, S-U, and then I-T.
All right, thank you.
Okay, is there anything else you have?
Would you be prepared by the end of June or
I'm
prior
gonna
to?
actually, I'm gonna contact our contractor and our demolition team, because I'll bring those in ASAP. I just needed help with Mr. Marvin to get that.
One or two
the
properties.
cable.
How many properties you say you had, Latrina? Yeah.
Is the demolition property we're talking about, but that cable is why the demo people and the maintenance guys don't go on that half of, like, the property.
Okay, and the other one is 1408 Summit.
Yes, sir.
Is there another one? Just
No,
two?
Those are mine.
Just those two?
My cousin Simone owns a different property.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll
All right,
tell
good
her.
enough.
I'm just here, like, I'll give her the information, she gotta get her packet and her stuff down for you guys.
Good deal.
Do you know the address of her property?
483 McKee.
I think it's 483. Right there.
Yeah, I was cross-referencing the ones that I know that were presented to the school district.
Year
Mhm.
ago.
Years ago, yeah. I have the 454 McKee, but I don't have the other two, but that doesn't mean we haven't gotten them. This may not be current, but
Sir, do you have anything?
Well, it's my first time to come, first of all, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My name is, I'm Reverend Sylvester from Lenora,
Okay.
but I'm most, in the, real estate business. And, I was looking at, some of the properties around here. But the reason I came, I wanted to come and find out about your tax forgiveness program, exactly how it is being conducted for me to know what process I have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I called, I think your clerk, she's the one who sent me to the website to look at some of the information on the website, which I read, but I didn't have much of the details as to exactly how this program is run.
It's really not complicated. The goal was to get together with the school board and the city in order to do the taxes. And we came up with a checklist that's on the city webpage. And the city webpage really goes into pretty good detail. In fact, it has the complete application and the complete contract that you have to agree to on the website, along with a narrative that describes what's going on. But conceptually, it was really designed to allow people to pick up a blighted piece of property. The city is not a real estate agent. We don't have list of properties. There are some properties owned by the county land bank. There's some properties owned by individuals and even the properties in the repository. The county is right now particularly interested in finding property that can be rehabilitated, but it works a little bit different in their case than what we're doing here. Our goal is to allow individuals to find this property, to enter into agreement to buy this property. You don't actually have to purchase the property at that point, but you have to have a executed sales agreement, one that says that you will do it within a certain time frame, and a complete title report. So you come to before this board and you present that information along with your plans. What are you going to do with this piece of property? How are you going to finance this, getting it done? What are you going to have to do to get an occupancy permit? The goal of this is to get property back on the tax rolls, and that means to get it where it's habitable and can be lived in. So if you have a plan to take one of these properties that you find and you put together this and convince the board here that you have the skills and the economic ability to do that, then we can forgive the taxes at that point. You have to sign a contract that says you will do what you said that you will do for us, and you have a limited period of time to do it, typically a year. But the house is yours free and clear at that point of any taxes, of any liens. The point being is you can take that piece of property and go to a bank and get a home improvement loan. You can take that piece of property and leverage it in many different ways. And that's vastly different from what had been done in the past. It allows you to do something with it. But if you fail to do that, then there's language in the contract that says there'll be liens that are applied to your property, and you're basically hamstrung once again. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're capable of doing what you're asked to do.
So that's where the two questions I had regarding that is, do I have to go to the owner of the property, purchase it from them, the property?
Yes.
One. Secondly, the tax forgiveness that you were given, is it the existing tax that is on it, owed on it, or is it a period of time?
It is,
I'm gonna have
at that period in time, when you sign the agreement with us, the school, the city together will send a letter to the Tax Claim Bureau that says that we exonerate the taxes. That automatically goes before the county commissioners, and they will also exonerate the taxes. Now, that's all taxes prior, all real estate taxes prior to the time that you sign that agreement. From the time you sign the agreement going forward, you'll be responsible for the taxes.
That's what I really wanted to find out.
Yeah, now,
The reason I'm saying this is because in some of the places, like you are given 5 years or so of tax-free on the property.
what we're giving up is the taxes that are due on the property up to that point, which can be tens of thousands of dollars, and it is in many cases. The thing you need to be very careful about, though, this board has no ability to forgive garbage fees, as an example. It has no ability to address any other liens that might be on the property. So we're basically asking you to make sure that when you buy a piece of property, that the only liens on that property are tax liens, real estate tax liens, that we can address. Otherwise, you may not get what we really hoping you get, a property free and clear of all liens. If it's still encumbered by other liens, you may have trouble going to banks and whatever the case may be.
So the improvement is 1 year.
The period is 1 year,
1 year.
yeah. Anybody else have anything?
Mr. Baker? Did you wanna present something?
We'll talk about it? Anything?
Yeah, I got, I have two properties, which I like to enter into the program with. I bought last year, within last year, the understanding, which we all understand that there was a misunderstanding of a lot of, I didn't know. So where I'm at with it is I would like to, I'll pay into your program, but I would like to start on the project. I didn't invest a lot of money into it yet because, well, I was warned of the possibility that it may go backwards on me. I didn't want to lose my money. But I do have two properties, and I went last weekend, I cleaned up all the yards and everything on it. But I have a lot of materials, and I do most of the work myself. But, the one on Ross Draper, I got the electric, the gas on, it's been on. I have the furnace, the duct work, pretty much everything to do it. I just really need to get to do it. I have all the windows, the doors, I got pretty much everything to put it together.
Well, that's perfect. I mean,
Within your time frame of the year, yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah.
On my time.
Well, I mean,
What are the properties?
1435 Ross Draper.
It's the only house on Lost Trail.
You can see it very clearly right now. You couldn't before I got it. But it's opened up now.
Amen.
It was covered.
what was the other one?
The other one was 648 Delaware. See, Delaware has a lot with it.
They're two separate titles, though.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, I believe he bought the lot out next to it with the property. That's the Delaware.
Do you know where that lot stands now?
648.
No, but do you know where it stands? 'Cause it's still, no one sold it like they would sell.
Not that I know of. I was
Not-
notified
nope.
from the county, and I have to.
Okay, so let's do that.
1648.
And what's the other? Yeah. Oh, they're right next to each other, but there's a big difference in,
The other 640 Delaware?
Yeah.
It's, one's just a lot itself, it's connected to the house. It used to be a house, but when they bought it, I had to go out there 3-4 times before they got the paperwork correct on it. As for it being a lot,
Is 640 the lot and then 648's the dwelling?
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. I'm trying to find the law. I know they
Yeah, the difference in the taxes.
$648 the house.
So he originally was in the program, right? And so is he in here or do we have to like reapply?
So let's talk about this for just a second. So you were in the program originally, and you're basically saying that you don't have time to get it all up to snuff before the time runs out in the end of June.
Well, yeah, I just was, notified that the program existed. I was told about a month or two after I had purchased them that there was problems and, we won't get into all of that, but I was told I would need a lawyer to straighten the situation out, and if I invest my money,
What are the
it's
taxes
to,
that are?
they can go back on it,
Well, if a dwelling,
they
it was
could
like
take my money, they could take my house,
$3,300.
and the property would
The
not
other
be
one was like
released, so when the
1,100.
county could have sold my house.
Well, there's a lot of bad information that was put out there. And I apologize for that, we tried to get it advertised in the paper and everything, what we were doing and how we were doing it. Our intent was never to go against the program that was in the process before, but rather to clean it up and to make sure that it was addressed the way that it was originally intended, that all the real estate taxes would be forgiven. And that's the primary goal that we tried to accomplish.
after I spoke with you, I come to your last meeting and watched you literally do what you said you would. Hey, I'm all in, I already got money invested, Delaware's got all new windows, all new doors, it's all framed in.
I wouldn't have a problem bringing them into the new program myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The deal is, the contract that he signed, or whatever he did, was in December of 21.
So it would have expired in December of 22. Here we are in 23.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's
You
the,
guys kind of just missed them giving me the thing.
Yeah, but basically what we said is we extended it out of our goodness to do it through the end of June. And
Under that whole.
under the old program. And I sent letters to everybody that was in the program that hadn't completed their project.
And that's something that I just learned about, that there were letters that came out because I called Mr. Morgan.
You know, I can only send the addresses that I have, and I understand that.
It's okay, because it was like, when we went to the county and got information, like, my address at the county was wrong.
Mhm.
And it's like, you're sending my stuff to Pittsburgh Street, Monessen zip code. Okay, nobody's fault, you can't blame me, it's fixed now.
Okay.
But to learn that you guys are doing it, that's why I came in today, cause I missed last month, Mr. Morgan explained to us to get our butt here, so.
We've tried hard. Come on in.
Thank you all, because,
okay.
like you said, grace and trying to make it work,
It's good.
appreciate it.
Mhm.
You can just have a seat.
Hello.
Well, so he's in, right? Are we looking to extend or reapply?
Your choice.
I mean,
Mr. Baker, how far are you along, how close are you with the, 648 Delaware for some?
It's, I mean, I would need probably, in realistic time,
3 to 6 months,
you know,
Okay.
about 6 months, that's,
3 to 6 months on Delaware.
you push me back.
You can get 'em into the new.
No, but the interest is more, the hurry up and get done is the Ross Strader house.
The Ross Strader, if I took you inside, it would knock you backwards.
I would really suggest that we look at the new program, get you on that.
I'm fine with it. I'm looking for your approval to join your program. Do I have the time, do I still have the time that is promised if I join your program?
The new program has a lot of life left to it. Until nobody's interested in it, we'll continue with that.
Yeah, but the terms of the new agreement, you'll have, 12 months.
1 year.
Once you get into it, though, you have 1
Yeah,
year.
it's a 12 month.
I was kind of hoping for, if I could, when we join the program, then it would give me the breathing room also.
Right.
When does the new program start? When do we have it?
Once he signs the agreement with us.
Okay.
So I would suggest you go online, print out the application, prepare all that information that's in the application. If you've got all that done, that's great. You need to show us that you've got the financial wherewithal to do this, and we will make a decision.
Yeah, financials are the key, right?
I mean, you gotta have the ability to do it. We're not interested in somebody getting a piece of property and not doing anything with it. You just joined us. Is there something you'd like to, what do you have?
$220.
$220, okay.
Some of the printouts I have from her.
Yes.
Title.
Yeah, I didn't bring
That's
this
right.
up. Yeah, she did a title search on it. You paid
I
the
think he has stuff there.
liens off, is that right? I mean, you paid a lot of money on this house. And basically what you're trying to do is get the back taxes forgiven on it.
Yeah, there's two. The title. Do you have any other?
I have the three documents that Mr. Delfonso sent us. But, Mr. Corpus, do you have any more details regarding the status or if an agreement was entered originally? 'Cause I don't have any record of that at the school.
There was not. Well, there was. It was originally done under a different purchaser.
Okay.
Right.
Maria Marquez
Right.
actually was the person that had entered into the program on that property. She was, she took off with great aspirations. She was swindled to the tune of about $10,000, which she's still trying to collect that money. But in the course of things, she got to a position where she had to sell it, and she sold it to these people. These people did all that we asked for. They did the title search. They did they have a clear deed on it.
Okay. So if we have an occupancy permit and confirmation that the
There won't
taxes are
even
current,
need to
everything-
have, she wants to do it under the new program.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So,
Alright.
so basically, are you prepared to complete the work on this house to get it brought up to standard? And as I recall, this is a house you wanna do for rental, is that right? Have you prepared any sort of estimate of what it's gonna cost you to get this house completed? And you're prepared to spend that money? Then I would say, we need to prepare the contract and
Yeah. You have the financial backing and the institutions are, do you have the equity, the money, the financial institutions that will back this?
I'm sorry, have you completed any of the application that, Mr. Moser had spoken about online? I think those would probably be the next steps, correct?
Right. Right, do you wanna give that to us and let us make copy of it? And I'll make copy for everybody?
I'll do
Yeah, I got it.
that. No, I'll
Did you print out the contract as well?
She didn't send the contract.
Okay,
Yeah, and then I have the money order that you told me about the application fee.
okay.
Yeah,
That's what we
You serious?
really tried to set up,
Yeah.
the program.
There you go. Oop, yeah, yep, new program, right? New
Yeah.
What I will do before you leave tonight is I will give you a copy of the contract. And we will take the application that you have. We're gonna schedule another meeting for the 30th, which is just next week, next Wednesday, a week from Wednesday. Tuesday, excuse me, next Tuesday. At that time, we can, I think that we can be in a position to evaluate it. We'll vote upon it, and we can forgive the taxes at that time. Now, it'll take a couple of days for it to go through the tax claim bureau in Greensburg, and for the county to follow through with their commissioners meeting. But the property will be free and clear of all taxes. You can borrow against the house, you can do whatever's necessary to get the house completed. We wish you the very best of luck. It's a pleasure to see somebody come into town and have the attitude that you and your father have had. I'm quite pleased.
for, we would have 220 Donner, we'd have the 630. 606 McMahon is a new enrollment, or this would be a new enrollment.
You'll have all yours completed, Will?
Yeah, but I just gotta get the house inspected, yeah.
Get the house inspected and get that done, and then, I forget your name in the back next to Mary Jo. What's his name?
Mr. Baker.
Mr. Baker. And you'll be ready next Tuesday with your application for going for him?
Yeah, it looks as if we have all the paperwork that's necessary, so I'll go through and make sure all the parcels are correct.
Yeah, if you complete the application to the best of your ability and get it to us a little bit in advance, I can email a copy of it to everybody, and everybody will have an opportunity to look at it before the meeting. It'll just make it very expeditious.
Okay, no, that's not a problem, I see, yeah, everything that's on here, I have, pretty much, I even have the lien searches and everything of that nature, so, we should be good. I'll put that out.
And you want it by when?
Well, we're gonna have our next meeting next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. If we can get this business taken care of very quickly, then it gets through all the proper channels the way that it needs to be before the summer break takes place.
Just bundling helps, right?
Right.
If we could do this quarter, it'd be better, right?
Yeah, while Mr. Korpash is making the copies, I want to congratulate everybody here for taking part in the program, and we have some success stories it looks like that, you know, everybody can be happy about.
And it's really what we're trying to do. It's, we're not trying to put undue hurdles on everybody or cause anybody any problems, but rather make sure that the property gets on the tax rolls. That's what we're trying to do.
There's a holiday this weekend. So we need to have them by the end of the week, maybe. We're not gonna be here Monday, are we?
I will be, but.
And you gonna be coming down and answering that door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mayor doesn't get a day off.
Are you here Monday?
I will be, but this building will be closed.
Building, so Friday, everything has to be by Friday.
Yeah, that would be the best.
Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Yeah,
Look at the lease that you.
Thank you, Reverend.
yeah, we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let me run upstairs. I think the meeting's over with. Does anybody have anything else that we need to discuss?
Nope, nope.
Anybody got any statements they want to make?
Oh, don't worry about it.
I'd like to thank everybody. I will go upstairs. I'll print off a copy of that, the agreement that you need to sign, and we'll look through this here. We may ask you some more questions next week, but we'll be prepared to embark upon that agreement if everybody's satisfied.
Absolutely.
Great.
Or do we wanna wait on this, or?
Oh, yes, we need to take care of this before we break up. Karen Marino's has a piece of property. And I sent everybody an email about that this morning, but let me describe that just so everybody understands that. In the year 2001, I think it was, the redevelopment authority acquired a piece of property. It might have been later than that. It several years ago in any event, 2009, the city acquired a piece of property from somebody that actually gave up the property. They donated the property. It had a lot of back taxes due at that time. The redevelopment authority really failed to understand what was going on with this, and they should have had the taxes exonerated at that time, and the entire period of time that they owned the property, it should not have been acquiring taxes because the redevelopment authority is non-taxable. But nonetheless, in 2021,
21, the RDA.
in 2021, the RDA sold it to Karen and Stanley Marinos. We asked them to do a title search on it, but they were convinced that one was not necessary. Well, it turns out one was very necessary. And one thing that occurs when you buy a piece of property, and I need to stress this to anybody that buys a piece of property, it doesn't matter where you buy this property, if it transpires in Westmoreland County, you will receive a letter from the county tax assessor, and it gives you 45 days to challenge the taxes. Pay attention to that. If that is not correct, if you disagree with those taxes, you have 45 days to appeal. And if you appeal it in those 45 days, it will take effect immediately. But if you don't do it in that 45 days, it falls within a calendar year that they've described, that they have to have them all done by, I think it's April.
Right.
And it takes effect the following year. And that actually happened to Karen Marino. She did not pay attention to, she didn't get the title search done. She didn't pay attention to the letter that came out. So what she ended up with is taxes at a very high rate, several $1,000s of back taxes that she should have never seen because the RDA should have never passed those taxes on to her. It's a disaster. She has paid the taxes since she got the property. She's cleaned the property up, and it's on the tax rolls. It meets all the requirements of the Tax Forgiveness Board, but it is not a house. It is a piece of land that she has done. And to that end, I would like to take a vote within this group to see if we were willing to exonerate those taxes.
Absolutely.
Would you like to make that motion?
I'll
Mayor?
make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and that
Okay, so
motion
we'll
carries.
prepare a letter and
Yeah,
For
we can
you
prepare
then.
the letter, and then we'll get it on
okay.
the board agenda.
get it on the board
Okay.
agenda.
For the June meeting.
And the
Okay.
county indicated, Mark, they'd be ready once we finalize, so.
It's just one of those things that you gotta correct every once in a while. Anything else?
With that, no agenda items. If anyone has any other additional comments,
Anybody wanna say anything before we adjourn?
if not, I'll make the motion for adjournment.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no? The ayes have
Okay,
it.
let me run a copy of that agreement for you, and I think we're off to the racetrack. Be good.
Okay.
Call them.
You happen to have like a list or something, just so I can like cross my eyes down,
Sure.
just to make sure I have it.
Yeah, you can go upstairs and get it.
You want me to make a copy of anything, or?
I've gotta go up and find the agreement, and I'll give her a copy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Picture on, right? I take it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Stop that for recording.
Oh, okay.
Oh, license stop recording.
Okay.
Stop recording.
Is it touch?